So good evening everyone again. We are at the day 3 of our 45 hours data science bootcamp training. So if we see what we have just covered in the last 2 hours. So we just started with what is data science, right? So what is data science, where it is applicable. So what is really data science means, right? So we were seeing those. Next, we moved on to some areas. So if you take a business, in every point they won't be using data science or they won't be playing with data. So we just saw the classification yesterday, right? Using some tables we just saw, right? So we just had this table, right? We just had this table. So we just saw which area have businesses, right? Sorry. So we just saw where data is being playing a major role, not in every cases, right? So the at the end of the day, we just inferred that data's what we are going to work is directly going to rely on our future market, right? So how much I want to work, what are things I want to change, what is the need in the current market, what is the need of the future market. So to predict that, we are going to analyze with the data, right? So we just saw in the last two class about this, right? So what we are going to move on. So in day 3, we are going to start with a basic and important terms called a traditional data, big data, BI. We just said, right? Business intelligence. And then traditional data science and ML, and where all these options are going to be applied. Okay. So in the next 3 hours, what we are going to do is we are going to work on this entire infograph. Okay, so in this thing we are going to spend the rest 3 hours of the week. Okay, the first step what we are going to do. Okay, so we have a major classification, right? We have two classification, which is data uh, and then a data science, right? So let me zoom it in. Okay, so we have two things, data and data science. So what is mean by data? What is mean by data? So data are some information stored in a digital format which can be used as a base by performing analysis and decision making. What is data? Data here represents a digital formatted thing, digital formatted information. What is this information is going to do? It's going to be as a base for performing our analysis and to make our decision. Okay, with this data only we are going to, on this data only we are going to do our analysis and we are going to take our decision for our future. Okay, so okay, that's data. Data is well and good. So what is mean by the two classification under data? We have a traditional data and big data. So anyone have any idea on what is mean by traditional data and what is mean by big data? So I guess most probably people will be aware of big data, right? Can anyone just use a command box and can explain what is, you can share your idea on what is mean by traditional data and big data. Okay, Twitter is a big data. Great. Traditional is raw facts and fixed. Big data is V4 and W of data every year. Okay. Great. So I'll just continue. Yes, traditional data is just some values. Okay. See, you are almost correct. Okay. So traditional data is nothing but a little amount of data. You will be having a structure. So suppose consider, I'll just give you an example. If you have 60 students in your class, you will be having, right, ID number, name, age, their home address, right? So you have a structured data type here. Okay, you have a structure and a limited data type. Okay, you must underline the word limiter. So you have a very less sort of data. So very less means we can use only one computer to access that or to process the data. Okay, the traditional data is a structured data which is very limited. So we such that we can access or we can manage that using only one computer. Okay, the same way, what is big data is, the term big describes everything. It's an extremely large data. Okay, so big data, as I said, not only it refers as a big thing, it have so much of classification under that. Okay, we can't even manage that. It is highly impossible for a human or a single computer to manage. It has a structure. You can see here, I have a base. In that I have two category. In the two category, I have n number of categories which are interrelated. Okay, previously we had only a set of a limited data which is a traditional data, but we have an n number of data here which can't be, which is impossible to manage with a single system. Okay, so there we saw traditional data are a structured one, a well structured. ID means the ID of the content. Okay, so name means this one. Nowhere interrelation will be there. ID won't be interrelated with name, or something like address is nowhere related with this, right? Everything comes under a structured manner. But here in big data, we might have a structured data, a semi-structured data, and even an unstructured data. Okay, so we are going to further look into the big data. Okay, so we can classify, as you just walk around the you in the current trend, you can ask what are the basic things of a big data. Okay, so if you just ask about to a beginner who is just starting his career in big data, he will say all the big data concept comes under this 3V. If you go a little intermediate who is working somewhere around 5 to 10 years in big data, he will say we have 5Vs which the big data is composed of. If you go to an expert, they may say we have 7 to 11 things. But the major and main things of a big data is vision, value, visualization, and variability. Okay. So what is this big data is for majorly used for is that big data is going to describe what is our vision, why we are going to organize this data, why we are going to process this data. Okay, second thing is just going to give the values out of things. Okay, doing these things will fetch me that value. From this set of values I get this output. Okay, easily we can visualize the thing. In my past I would have did a mistake. So you seeing that, referring a larger set of data, I can get a clear visualization of my result. I have a variability, right? So in past, I would have not tried only one method. I would have tried 10 types of method. Okay, so I have a variety. I can vary things. I have the things. Okay, I don't want to risk. I have did 10 things here. So for the 10 things I have done that time, I have the result. Okay, for doing this, I'll be getting that. For doing this, I'll be getting this. So for the current situation, according to the future market, I'll be doing that thing. Okay, you might ask, what is the 11 B's? You have listed only 4. The rest are something like volume, velocity. Will be seeing that. Okay, so the first thing will have a differentiate between a big data and a traditional data. Okay, so coming to the point of volume, as volume, we know traditional data have a limited value, a limited volume, right? A big data, it have a pack of volumes, right? We have an n number of data which cannot be stored or which cannot be processed using a single system. So what we'll be doing for a particular thing, we'll be storing in a particular system. So the entire group of systems where we have stored is linked. It has, the data has been distributed among the computer systems. You're getting that? The same way, if we just differentiate about variety, here I'll be having, okay, IDs, my name, my class. I'll be having a structured and a limited variety. But here, due to, see, you just think, if you have many data, you have many variety, right? If you are going to a shop, if the shopkeeper have 5 dresses, you have 5 options. If you go to another shop where 100 dresses are there, you have an option, right? You can buy a tee, you can buy a jean, you have option, you have variety, right? So obviously the amount of data increases, the variety to choose or to take the decision or the decision taking principle get increases. Okay, what is the some common varieties? Here I will be having, as we see, we'll be having a numerical values, maybe the alphabetical values, something like that. But here we can store a picture, an audio clipping from our customer, maybe something like an application. We can store everything. Okay, so traditional data and big data velocity. Velocity is nothing but how how fast you can retrieve things. Okay, being working in a single computer with a handful of data among that, it will have a slower pace to take a decision or to get a result out of it. But if we come to the big data, each and every data, each and every category is splitted among the computers, so that if you want to a simple output or an output from a data, I want to know what is this cost. It will be a very much faster than compared to a traditional data. Okay, so you might ask, what will be the, why this velocity matters? Okay, yesterday we were seeing a real-time dashboards. Okay, so what does mean by real-time dashboards? I'm explaining you again. So data science is nothing but we are going to collect our past business data. We are going to store that. We are going to analyze that, and we are going to predict our future, or we are going to predict, or we are going to plan our business plan, right? But if you think it's fine if I collect my 5 years data, Okay, 5 years data I am collecting and I am just working it out. The same time, the people who had the mentality 5 years back don't have the same mentality now, because everything changes, every technology change. We should be adapting to the technology, right? So we bring a new or an emerging thing out of this data extraction, which is real time. Okay, real time means your past data will be there, plus your real time data, yesterday's data will also be get added. Now the current time data will be getting added. Everything will keep on getting added. That time when it's keep on getting added, my projection or my plan should be fast enough. Okay, now my graph is growing down for the real time. My computer should say immediately, rather than after 5 seconds it will fetch me a big loss, right? So here there comes the value of keeping the velocity here. Velocity refers how much fast we can retrieve a data or a source from the library. Okay, so we just saw that what is meant by traditional data and big data, right? So data are nothing but we'll be having set of information which is all set before the analysis, right? We'll be collecting the data, we'll be doing analysis with that data, right? So data are something like before analysis we are going to collect that. Okay, so what is this business intelligence, traditional method, and then machine learning? You might be confused. What is the traditional method? Traditional method, we can just say traditional data science. Okay, I'll be coming in that. Okay, so if you see this side, this is somewhat before the analysis process. This is somewhat after the data has been gathered, organized, or after the BA reports has been done. Yes, so here it is data. We just saw what is data science and what is data science composed of. We just saw yesterday, right? And these are the basic topics we are going to cover, right? So data science in simple words, many were asking in yesterday's doubt clarification session. Sir, you just give me a crisp definition for a data science. A data science is nothing but a combination of statistics, some mathematics, a little programming, and a problem solving techniques, and the data management. So the combination of these 5 techniques or these 5 tools is the data science. It's nothing but this. Okay, so business intelligence, traditional alias traditional data science, and then machine learning combines to form a data science. Okay, so let me start with the first thing, business intelligence. I just said yesterday, right? What is meant by business intelligence? From the organized data, we are going to project that using BA reports or BA dashboards, right? We are going to do that, right? So I'll just start with BI, business intelligence. Okay, so business intelligence includes all technology driven tools. Okay, so we are going to analyze the data. We just got a data here, we just processed it. Process means we just made it structured. So something like this category, this category, this category, we made it structured. So what we are going to do in business intelligence, we are going to analyze the structured data. We are going to understand, okay, we are going to first analyze, and then okay, this is what have been happening here. We are going to understand that, and we are going to project our understanding into a report. Simple. Okay, so we are going to analyze, we are going from the analysis what we understand, we are going to prepare a report. Okay, so why this BI is used? Okay, so if you see, BI is used to take a particular decision. I'll be having in my report, I just did this thing, so I have profit this much. I have did the same thing, I got lost this much. Okay, in my future I don't want to do this. I want to do this, but I don't want to do this because this gets me lost. Okay, I get a decision. Okay, so I don't want to study the entire data again. With my BA reports, I can just see overall insights. Okay, I can just take the insights, I can extract the insights, the useful things. Insights is nothing but the useful things out of a data. So if you have 10 pages of data, you don't, if you are referring to that, you don't want that entire 10 page. At the end of the day, you want at least some 2 pages, right? As for that, you don't want to read the entire things. So I will extract those important data which are useful to me, and I will just create a report out of it. Okay, so to extract some ideas. Okay, before I was doing this, okay, I got a profit. Okay, same thing we can do again, I guess. So we can extract some ideas also, right? So in general, business intelligence answer use the question how this happened. Okay, if you ask, you are my what to say, you are my manager of a company. Okay, I'll be asking how this loss has been happened, or else how this profit you have achieved this profit. Okay, so the same thing you can just go around. Why this profit happened? Why this loss happened? So what you'll be doing, you'll just go back to the data you'll be analyzing. So you'll be go back to your BI report, you will just say them. Why? This is the cause. How? I just did this, so only this got. You're getting that? So how the price increase or how the price decrease? So how much shareholders they are having? Okay. So what was the last year's things and why it was increasing gradually this year? Getting that? See, 5 days I am going to teach a single topic only. In particular, I'm going to teach single topic only. Okay, so I'll be going around and round. Yesterday also I'm teaching this only: data, business intelligence, right? Everything I was doing, data science, machine learning. Again I'm doing because, and that doesn't means day by day I'm just building up new concept. Okay, so I'm just making you familiar with a number of concepts. If you take yesterday's, it will be a little introductory about these things, and today it will be a little deeper, so little informative, right? So it's not new. Day by day, the 5 days introductory class, we are going to deal with the same things. I'm just coming a little, I'm increasing the levels. Okay, so this is all about business intelligence. Okay, so as we saw yesterday, these things, this traditional data, big data, business intelligence will be taken from the past. So these and all data means we are going to collect data from our past service. Business intelligence also, we are going to prepare a report from our past data, right? These and all comes in the future. So data science, we are going to predict the future, and machine learning also the same thing, right? Yes. So the next thing we just saw about big data, business intelligence, then traditional methods and the machine learning. Okay, so I'll start with the traditional method, which is also called traditional data science. Okay, so a set of methods that are derived mainly from statistics and are adapted for the business. Right. So we are going to get a statistics, or in simple term, we are going to get a stat. Okay, this much way it got increased by the month of June. This is my stat. My business growth will be going up till June and then it will fall to December. This is my stat. So I'll be getting some stat from my data and I'm going to adapt. Okay, till June you just make more product, and then you just reduce step by steps to prevent loss. Here what I'm doing, I'm creating a stat and I'm just adapting to my business. Okay, so you can see here some basic stats. We can create a regression. Regression is nothing but, so this is my first month sales, second month sale, third, fourth, fifth, average out of it. I have cluster. So happy customers, we just saw, right? Happy customers with high satisfaction, less loyalty, like that I have clusters. I have a diagrams, a relation diagram, factor diagram. Okay, these are all some sort of traditional methods we are going to use. Okay, coming next to the point of machine learning. Okay, we are coming to the point of machine learning. So what is machine learning? Machine learning, in simple terms, what we just saw yesterday, from the data or from the stat we are going to collect, that stat will be given to a machine. That machine will analyze and it will think for that and it will do the thing, right? The same thing. See, we got a stat, we got some statistics. This is my statistics for my business. It's going to analyze that, how to work on that, and then it's going to think, the machine going to think using artificial intelligence, and it's going to predict our outcome. So it's going to predict, okay, for the past 5 years my growth was increasing, so this year also my growth was increasing. Okay, so you can see here, with data using artificial intelligence, it will just collect stats and it will predict. Okay, so this is all about the data science. Okay, so we just saw what is data sciences and the classification of data science, when it is applied, right? So next what we are going to see is why we need these. What is the need of these? Why we need a traditional data, big data, business intelligence, traditional method, machine learning? What is the need of these? What is the need of these? Can anyone just answer my question? What is the need of these? What is the need of this? Okay. Before that, why we need this? Okay. Why we need this? To manage our business, to get the analytics. Yes, great. To answer complex. Yes, great. Done it efficiently. That's yes. You people are answering better than me. See, people might say yesterday in the first day they were saying, sir, I don't know anything about data science like that, as it is a big thing. Now you are just replying my question more than my expectation. That's the thing. Simple thinking ability gives you a better data science concepts. Yes, to use wisely for efficiency and productivity. Great. Great. So why we use, you just gave an overall idea. I'm just splitting it out. That's it. See why we need data. So data driven decisions require well organized and relevant raw data stored in a digital format. We need to have some data to say, to justify our decision, right? So the same thing, business intelligence, why we need, we don't want to refer data every time. We are going to extract the useful things and we are going to project that. Okay, the same things, traditional method, machine learning. Traditional method is like you are going to create a stat out of the business things. So this is my stat, and the machine learning thing is like every time you don't want to do, instead of you being there, your computer or your machine will do that. So how it will get, it should get a reference, right? So it will get the data before my, if this is the condition, my master did this, so I was supposed to do this. It will just learn from you, your past data. Okay, so we'll move on to the next topic. What is this about? And then we'll move on to where. Okay, so I just was saying you, right, we will be focusing on this table the entire week, right? So I don't want to mess you up. Okay, I don't want to mess you up, so we'll see one by one in each day. Okay, we'll start with, we have many things here: data clustering, data collection, traditional data. We have many things which are the combinations of everything, right? We'll see that one by one. Okay, today we'll start off with data collection pre-processing. Okay, so what do you you will be getting an idea, right, after seeing this word data collection pre-processing. Data collection pre-processing. What do you get from these three words? Data collection, pre-processing. Okay. Great. So great. Pre-processing of yes, removing the unwanted. Great. Processing the yes, great. Okay, great. Yes. See, yes, you are almost correct. Okay. So data collection pre-processing. We are going to we are going to do analysis. Sorry, we are going to determine. Okay. I need this sort of data only. I don't want the entire data. If I'm running a hotel, I want to know about my service of my staffs and the taste of my food which have been delivered to them. Okay, rather than I don't want how was the weather, okay, how was it, how was the climatic condition, did you enjoy the something like that, I don't want, right? So I want a specific data only. So I don't want to collect the entire data, I want to be precise, this data I want. Okay, this thing I want. Okay, so we are going to do something before collecting your data, before starting your data collection. That process we are going to call data collection pre-processing. Okay, so let me start off with what is data. Okay, data, it may be a raw fact, it may be a processed fact, it may be an information. Okay, a data may be a raw fact, a processed fact, and an information. What is the relation between these? What is the raw fact? What is the processed fact? And the information? All are data. What is the basic difference? Yes. So if you see here, whatever I collect from my user, okay, a user, he won't be conscious enough. Okay, this sir is asking me this, so I should mention this. He won't be conscious. He don't have the responsibility, like he want to give you a feedback, right? It is your beneficial to collect the data from the user. He don't have any responsibility to give that data, right? So that data may be something correctly categorized or might not be, right? So that data which we get from the customer or from our service is called raw data. So what we are going to do, that raw data, we are going to process that. So you take this data and all here, this is and all set for our gave these feedbacks and all gave for our customer staff's service. This feedback and all gave for my food taste. This and all gave for my food presentation. I can categorize this. So these data are my processed data. So I have processed it. I have sorted it. These are all called processed data. So what is this information? So at last, I got a feedback. If I get a positive feedback, it's well and good. I can reward my person for that. The main thing is I want to take the negative feedback, which I don't want to get repeated again. So I want to analyze that. So those are my information. So this is the information. So he was waiting for 10 minutes even after getting just giving his order. So that is my thing. So what I will be doing, I will plan to increase two more people, two more service people inside my hotel. Okay, so I'm getting some information. Okay, this in my food, this is not good. So try like this. Okay, this is my information, right? So raw data is nothing but we are going to get what we are getting from the customer without processing is called raw data. We are going to process it. We are going to categorize it. That is processing. And then from the data, what we are going to get. Okay, what Okay, so as I said, this is what raw data cannot be analyzed straight away. We can't even without any process we can't do that. So what data will be having? Raw data will have raw facts, primary data. Okay, primary data means here with our example I'm saying raw data will have the service complaint will be having, right? So that is my raw fact. So primary data means what is the customer, in which table he was sitting, what is his phone number, everything will be there, right? So these are my things. Okay, so the basic examples in current world, what is the data collection format is like, you can just see rate our service from 1 to 10. Many of would have experienced this, right? Almost everyone would have. Okay, so this is the thing. This is easier because whatever you just give the input, it will get arranged. So we don't have much time, or we don't want to spend much time in processing data. These data will be easily processed. Okay, so the next form of thing is cookies. Whenever you enter a new website, it will ask, this website use a individual cookie, do you want to allow? Okay or deny, it will ask, right? So what that cookie is, so it will collect the data of the visitor who's visiting our website. So it will take which IPs you are from using, what is your computer name, what is your age. How come it know your age? You would have filled somewhere, right? You have filled some form. It will be like auto memorize like that. So whenever if you fill another form, when you click your first name of your letter, it will just showcase each from your address to your phone number. It will just show, right? So cookies is a form of data collection. Okay, so these are the forms of data. Okay, so the word pre-processing, where it comes, we just saw about data. We have data means raw data, processed data, and then information. So where this pre-processing comes, okay, so we have, this is what we saw, right? Raw data, processing, and information, right? What we are going to do here, we are going to do from the set of, before processing, we are going to do from the raw data, we are going to plan which data we need. Actually, we don't want to process every data. Okay, I don't want to process these. Only I want to process ID, name, age, and their feedback. That's it. Rest all I don't want. I don't want to process that. I don't want to waste that. Waste by using processing time or storage. I don't want to waste that. Okay, so simple example I'm just showing here. Suppose person, okay, or my customer is just filling a feedback in a website, in my website. Okay, so he automatically IP gets stored. He just gave his name as John, and his age, instead of giving 32, he just, without knowing or something like that, he gave 932. So that I can't say his age is 932, right? The same way, someone else gave his IP, let it be same. His name, instead of his name, he just gave his country place. Okay, so then he gave his age. I just want to, before applying it to my BI, or I going to process into my data science, I want to process it, right? I want to check the data is in correct or not. So what I will be doing, either I will be correcting the approximate age, something like, oh, he might have came to write 32, or else I'll be writing average persons. I have 10 people, so okay, average age is this. Okay, let me keep it as 32, or else what I will be doing, I'll be eliminating the whole thing. Okay, this is the first and the foremost picture about data pre-processing. Okay, so data pre-processing, we have a first thing called class labeling. Okay, so here many will be there. Okay, so if we ask a user who comes to my hotel, you just give your name, phone number, and your feedback. So name means what he'll be writing. He'll be writing his name. Suppose Alphite, ALPHITE. There he won't be using any numbers, right? The same way, if we ask about phone number, he won't be writing any alphabets, right? Like that, we want to label the classes. We have I just gave you a simple class here. We have n number of classes. I just give you a simple class, numerical class. So I can say number of goods sold, it's 936 units. Okay, this is my first month. Next month, I'll say number of goods sold. It may vary or it may be same. It can be manipulated. Okay, this is category. Okay, so what I'm going to say here, this is my words. I'll be getting alphabets. I'll be getting a certain form of certain class of things only I'll be getting. Here I have, suppose, where is your hotel located? New York, USA. So after the next month, I can say, where is your hotel located? If anyone asks, where is your hotel located? Can I say it is in China? Or it is in Beijing? No, right? So some things which cannot be manipulated, right? So suppose every month the person won't be changing his name. First month John, second month Peter, he won't change, right? Everything it will be same. Like that, we have the certain classes called categorical law. You're getting that? The second thing is data cleaning. The C is data cleaning or data cleansing. It's data cleansing. Data cleaning means we are going to eradicate the things. Data cleansing is similar to data cleaning, which is also similar to data scrubbing. Okay, don't think much. It's very simple. Suppose your city, you have asked in your feedback about city, your customer in a hurry, instead of New York, he will say NWEWRK. Instead of Washington DC, he will say Washington CD. There, what I want to do, instead of eradicating my his whole feedback, I can just make it like something. Okay, he was supposed to write New York, but he have made some mistake. I'm just cleansing that. I'm going to alter that. Okay, the first we saw is data class labeling. So this set of class is not changed. This set of class will be changing every month. Okay, second thing is data cleansing. This was the thing he was supposed to do, but in a hurry or by mistake, he would have did this. Okay, so the last thing in the pre-processing module is missing values. Suppose ID name, he would have forgotten to give his age, and occupation he gave. The same way ID have, he forgot to give the age. So what I should do? I have two options here. What I think is I can just average my user's value age and I can post it here. I can just, or else simply take it out this. I don't want this entire feedback. Yes, cookies will work, but this is something like if you don't, if you are getting it manually, suppose your customer didn't want to mention his age, he just left it. What he'll do, you will lose your feedback or you want to modify that. So if you enter something like 70, next time if you see him, if he is 20, he'll hit you. Right? The same thing, I can't enter a false value in the same way, right? So what I'll be doing is I have two options. I can just get my average age, or I just want to take the entire value out of my library. Okay, so this is all about the data collection pre-processing technique. Okay, so I'll just spare 2 minutes with the case specific. Some case specific techniques are there. I'll just spare 2 minutes in that. Okay, so first one is balancing. Okay, balancing is nothing but, suppose you are having a garment shop. Okay, so you have dresses for both men and women. Okay, so you are going to collect feedback. You got 100 feedback. Out of 100, 80 feedback is from female, and something like 20 feedback is from male. So you are going to collect the data. You just think that you are going to collect the data. While you process that, at the end what it will be saying, obviously female prefer their own choices, right? So they will be preferring female dresses, men will be male, right? So here what will happen, out of 80 choices everyone will have mentioned female choices only, right? So in future, I will eradicate my men's clothes and only will be selling female. But this is not a thing, right? It will be a bias. So we should be balanced. If we have a category, we should be balanced. Here two people means here two people. If we have two category, suppose like I'm selling ice creams and also sandwich, means I should not get feedback only from these people, or I should not get more feedback from these people. I should get equal feedback and then I should be working on. This is balancing. Okay. So the next thing is shuffling data sets. Okay. The same things I'm saying. Okay. And just running a wholesale business. So first month, A comes and buy from me a product. B comes and buy me another product. C. So in my shop, this in a month, in this date, they will be coming. Okay. So if I collect my data according to that, so if I take some random value, suppose like C, if I take some random value like first 100 observation, means the rest people's things will not be considered. That should not happen, right? So if my target is like I'm going to take from feedbacks from 100 observation and I'm going to analysis, means in that time, clearly note, I'm not going to analyze on every data which I got. I'm going to take only 100 observation. So what I'm going to do is, instead of doing one entire step, I'm going to shuffle the things and I'm going to take two steps. I'm going to protect. First, I'm going to shuffle one thing and I'm going to take 100 things. I'm going to process that. Next, I'm going to shuffle one thing and then I'm going to take 100. I'm going to process that. So it will get me a perfect result out of it. Okay. So this is something like case specific. So if you have categories, you should be balancing enough. This should be this, that should be that, like that. Okay. The same thing, if you have more number of sets, you are going to operate only with, just hold on. Okay. If you are going to if you have many set values but you are going to work only on a specific number of things, suppose I have 1,000 values or 1,000 feedbacks, I'm going to work on only 100, means you are not supposed to take from the first 100 because it may be biased. Okay, so you are going to do two times, you are going to shuffle and you are going to take 100 things out of that. Okay, some visualization. So we just saw, right, BI is nothing but we are going to get a report, something like, so in data is what, how it will be done is, I'll just come here. So this is like ER diagrams. People will be saying entity relation diagram. So this will be like, you'll be having processes. After doing this, do that, do this, do that. Here, this is the case specific. If it is this, do that. If it is this, do that. If it is this, do that. So you have entity relation diagrams. Okay, don't worry about it. Just have a general idea what is mean by this. Okay. So in future, while we are going, we'll be learning about that. Okay. So we have relation schema. So we have set of things. So how they are related with each other. Okay. So what we have just seen is today is data collection pre-processing. So what is meant by class labeling? We have categorical class and the numerical class. Category is like it is not changed. So where are you from? What is your name? Name won't be changing, right? Numerical. What is my uh, how much stocks told this month? Next month what will be? It will be changing, right? Data cleansing. It's going to like this was the thing he was supposed to give, but he just gave it something. I can cleanse that. Dealing with missing values. So he didn't give this value. So this is what he was supposed to give, right? So we had some case specific and we just have some graphs. Okay, so I'll just stop with a real-time example. I'll just show you some real-time example about the traditional data watch which we saw now. Okay, I have some I have some customer data. Okay, so I have customer ID, first name, last name, email address, and then complaint. Now I'm going to give you a proper example. Okay, now I am going to give numerical versus categorical. Okay, so now you just keenly observe my question now. So I am going to take this column, customer ID, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that going to change? Or if I take average out of it, or if I going to take the sum, it means anything? Yes, the term, great, Nikhil, it's constant value. So constant means these cannot be manipulated. So these are categorical data. The same thing, complaint. I can say this guy gave 2 complaints, this guy gave 1 complaint. So I can say, I can make it as total 3. Okay, I say out of 4 people visited, I got 3. So I got 3 complaints. I can say if I have 4 peoples, I will get 3 complaints. So in an average, if 4 people visit, 3 complaints I'll get. I'm getting that. So it is not thing, right? So the next set of people, everyone may give complaint or no one can, everyone will be satisfied because I have some complaints here. If I rectify, if the same set of people comes again, they won't have complaints, right? So this will be changing. So this is a numerical data. So this thing what I want to say is, if it is changing, it is a numerical. It is not changing. If it is a constant, we don't want to get any value out of it. It is a categorical. The same thing, stock market, if you see some prices 46, 45, 44, it's just increasing, decreasing, right? So dates, here we have dates. In this date, this price was this. So this date, we don't have any change in that. It is just a category. So it is a categorical data. The stock price, which will be changing, I can get average price of that, everything, right? So it is a numerical data. Okay, so where we will be using these basic customer data, historical stock prices data, we'll be using here and there, these traditional data. Okay, traditional data and all we'll be using limited things we'll be using. Means basic customer data. If I take a customer hotel, now in an average 100 people visited it. That's it. I won't get any much feedback more than that. Right? So stock means stock per day or per hour. It will take not a much data. Compare it to your social media or financial trading data, right? So this is all about the day. So if you have any queries, you can just post your comments. If not, we can just meet in tomorrow's class. Okay.